We've surveyed over 400 engineers and architects over North America to find out what separates the best from the rest. And we found 3 things. 3 C's. We're covering one of each in our podcast, and today we're covering the second one. This is part 2 of a 3-part series based on the 2026 Future of Work in Engineering and Architecture report, produced by EMI and ActionsProve. Part 1 on confidence is already out on the AEC Leadership Podcast. To get all 3 C's and the full data behind all of them, you can download the free report at the link in the show notes. Most engineers I talk to are waiting for someone to tell them what comes next, and most firms are waiting for their engineers to figure it out on their own. Nobody wins in that standoff. Today we're talking about the second C in our 3-part Future of Work series, and this one hits close to home for a lot of project managers, because if there's one thing that shows up again and again in the data, and honestly in the conversations I have with AEC professionals every day, it's this. People want to know where they're going, and they want a map to get there. But here's what's most striking. Most firms aren't giving them one. Today's episode is about clarity, specifically what it means for your PM career, what the data tells us about where firms are falling short, and what the best firms are doing differently to fix it. And before we jump in, I want to tell you about AEC PM Connect, a series of in-person events that we've created at EMI for AEC project managers and the leaders who develop them. If you want to stay on top of PM trends, elevate your team, and deliver stronger project results, these full-day events are built for you. They're coming to New Jersey this June and Kansas this October. Learn more and register at aecpmconnect.com. I'm your host, Fiona Johann, and this is the AEC Project Management Podcast. Let's jump right in. Let me give you a few numbers to set the stage. Only 39% of technical staff say their career path is clear and well-defined. That's fewer than 4 in 10 people who actually know where they're headed inside their own firm. And here's what makes that number even more striking. 96% of those same professionals say that career path clarity from firm leaders would be valuable to them. 96%. But only 27% say their firm communicates this very well. So the demand is nearly universal, and the delivery is nowhere close. And if you want to see what's at stake, look at this. At highly competitive firms, 67% of employees have a clear career path. At less competitive firms, that number drops to 30%. That gap, 67% versus 30%, that's not luck, that's a leadership decision. What clarity actually means in AEC. Now, when I say clarity, I don't mean just handing someone a job description or a title progression chart. That is a start, but it is not enough. Real clarity is when a person on your team knows what they're working towards, understands what skills they're building, and can see how the work they're doing today connects to where they want to go. That kind of clarity doesn't happen by accident. It's built deliberately. And firms that get it right are doing 3 things consistently. Number 1, career path clarity. Engineers can't chase a destination nobody has shown them. Think about what it feels like to be early in your career, or even mid-career, and not know what the next step looks like. You're doing good work, you're showing up, but nobody's told you what advancing actually means at this firm or what it takes to get there. That ambiguity isn't neutral, it's actually quite costly. Because when people can't see a future for themselves inside your firm, they start looking for somewhere else. This is especially true in project management. The PM career path is one of the least defined in AEC, and that's a real problem, because project management is also one of the most critical roles in any firm's performance. If your firm hasn't clearly mapped out what a project management career looks like, from early career through senior leadership, that's worth addressing sooner rather than later. Number 2, role clarity. Here's a data point that stopped me when I first read it. 22% of technical staff say they feel like a resource to bill hours. Not a person with a career, not someone the firm has invested in, just a number on a utilization report. That feeling isn't just demoralizing, it drives turnover. And it often starts with a lack of role clarity. People don't have a clear sense of what they own, what decisions they're empowered to make, and how their work actually matters to the firm's bigger picture. In day-to-day project management work, this shows up in scope gaps, accountability confusion, and teams where everyone is waiting for someone else to make the call. Clarity doesn't mean knowing your job title, it means knowing your scope, your authority, and why your role matters. When people have that, when they really feel it, the whole team moves differently. Number 3, training clarity. The third area where clarity breaks down is how firms approach professional development. 41% of firms provide formal PM training less than once per year, or never. When training does happen, it often isn't connected to a clear developmental path. It's a one-off course, a required certification, a lunch and learn that doesn't add to anything intentional. Here's the thing. If you don't know what skills you're developing, you can't grow with intention. And if your firm isn't connecting training to career progression, to something meaningful, people won't take it seriously, or worse, they'll take it seriously somewhere else. Clarity doesn't mean having all the answers. It means giving people a map, a real one that shows them where they are, where they could go, and what it takes to get there. Firms doing this well aren't necessarily spending more on training. They're being more deliberate about it. And that deliberateness is what makes people feel seen, invested in, and worth staying for.
In the AEC industry, skilled project managers are the backbone of success. EMI's AEC PM Certification offers tailored training, ongoing support, and exclusive access to premium content that keeps your team sharp and effective. From foundational training to advanced leadership tools, set your team apart with certified growth. Learn more at aecpm.com. That's aecpm.com.
The PM connection. Before we get to the end, I want to bring this back to you specifically, because if you're listening to the podcast, there's a good chance you're either working in project management or leading people who are. The project management role sits right at the intersection of all 3 clarity gaps. Career path clarity matters to you because advancement in project management isn't always obvious. Role clarity matters because scope creep, accountability gaps, and unclear ownership are PM problems first. And training clarity matters because project management is a discipline that takes real ongoing investment to develop well. If your firm isn't giving you that clarity, that's worth naming. And if you're a leader, it's worth asking whether you're giving it to the people you lead. Here's what I want you to take away from today. Clarity isn't complicated, but it does require intention. It means sitting down with your team and actually talking about what's next for them. Not in a performance review once a year, but regularly, honestly, and with enough specifics that people can act on it. The question isn't whether your people want clarity. They all do. The question is whether your firm is willing to provide it. This is part 2 of 3 of our Future of Work series. Part 1 on confidence is already out on the AEC Leadership Podcast, and part 3 on connection will drop on June 12th on the Civil Engineering CEO Show, where Anthony sits down with Peter Atherton, who co-authored this report with us. Links to both will be in our show notes. And the full 2026 Future of Work in Engineering and Architecture report is available for free. Everything we've talked about today, plus the full data on AI adoption, burnout, career development, and everything that separates the best AEC firms from the rest, is there. Grab it at the link in our show notes. Please remember, you can find the show notes for this episode at aecpmpodcast.com. There you'll find a summary of the key points discussed in today's episode, as well as links to any of the resources, websites, or books mentioned during this episode. Until next time, I wish you all the best in your engineering project management endeavors.